not that song.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 884. Hello, it's Mike Matthews broadcasting from Cafe Anyway here at the last place on earth located somewhere in Podcastro Valley. Today, the finale of my Into an Interview with the amazing bass player Dan Menapace of the San Francisco band, the Illogistical Resource Department. And we talk about some of our favorite rock bands. Plus, we hear from Chely Shoehart, Floyd the Floorman,
Mike's Daily Podcast,
and John Deere, the engineer, will say something I will have a hard time understanding.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
So here I am enjoying my forties. No, not a bunch of malt liquor that would destroy my kidneys or my liver, whatever. But what is clear to me is that I am not quite the attraction as I used to be. I mean, I never was a Clooney to the ladies.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Nowadays, I'm more like a Judd Hirsch or Tim Conway, and only women
Mike's
older than me
Daily
know who those guys are.
Podcast.
Anyway, Cafe Anyway.
Yeah!
They were on the very popular TV shows that you only see on TV Land anymore. And although I have to say that it's good to be alive, just things I've noticed of late. Look who just walked in. Hello, Mike Matthews. It's Chely Shoehart to get jumps to everybody. They're like, oh my God, you're like in your 40s? Yeah, 40s. Wow, Mike Matthews, that's like incredibly old. It's up there. It's not quite middle aged though. I'm zeroing in it, assuming I live to 100. Mike Matthews, that's assuming a lot. I think you should slow it down a little bit. Just enjoy day by day. I think you're right. Best advice ever. Look who else just walked in. Hello there, Mike. This is Floyd the Floorman, and this is John Deere, the engineer. Mike, this is a wacky show, but very introspective. Yeah, it's very introspective today. Very thinking inside, looking inwardly. That's important. You need to do that. Take stock in your life sometimes. Mike, if you want to drink a bunch of 40s, I got a bunch in the car. Okay, John Deere, that's great. We might take you up on that. Thanks. I'm just saying we could get really drunk. No, that's all right. I have a really great voice. You do. And it's different from yours. Very different indeed. Mike, your voice is beautiful. Thank you. Much like yours. And yours, Chely. Thank you, Mike Matthew. I put my retainers back on. Why did you play that organ music, Floyd? Because it sounded like it needed a dramatic effect. Okay. Guys, I just wanted to say that that's about it for this part of the show. We're not going to do a segment or anything.
Mike ripped someone a new one.
I don't want to rip anyone a new one, anything. All right. Okay. Look. Fact of the matter is that I have no complaints today. I really see this show is totally vapid when I don't have anything to complain about. I just really get irritated about something right now. I hate when people send me a bunch of forms that I have to sign. That pertains to absolutely no one, does it? Oh, well, actually, some of you. Okay, all right, that's about it. First world problems, I know, but just it's crazy. And that's about it. My new job, actually, I had to sign a bunch of stuff online. I didn't really care about that. But when I have actual papers to sign, it's, oh boy, there's really nothing else to say about that. So what do you think about all that? What's on your mind? Email me, mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. We read your comments in the section emails from email. Also, email me there if you'd like to be a guest on the show or if you'd like to sponsor the show, mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. Yes, and also you can give us your comments, too. We read your comments on the section, emails from email, and your comment, not so comments. I forgot, that's the name of the show, the segment in the show. Yeah. So you can comment there on my Twitter, @MikeTalks, or also there on my Facebook, facebook.com/Mike'sDailyPodcast. That's where to find it. Go to Mike'sDailyPodcast.com. You can listen to the show in iTunes. iTunes has been annoying me lately, too. I could rip them a new one, but I really don't feel the fervor there in the pit of my stomach. That's something that annoys me. When people go, oh, he doesn't have the fire in the belly. I don't like it. It sounds a little too acid reflux to me. Anyway, You can also hear us on YouTube, SoundCloud, TuneIn, Stitcher, Podomatic, Mixcloud, Spreaker, Player FM, Ameristream Live. Comment and rate this show in iTunes and more people find out about us. You can support this show through the Amazon link. Click on that and buy something, whatever it is you're going to buy on Amazon, and we get a little bit of that. A little bit supports the show. You can also tell your friends about the show through Instagram, Yelp, and Tumblr. Links to all that at mikesdailypodcast.com. And there is also the blog, the Daily Podcast Picture, and all my past interviews. And speaking of interviews, here's the finale of my interview with the Illogistical Resource Department. Now, I'm speaking to Dan Menapace of the Illogistical Resource Department. And how did you guys all get together?
I've actually been playing with Noah, the drummer, for years, since 2006 maybe. And I guess Jim was went to school, I think, with Noah. So we would always jam over at his place and just do free-form jams and stuff usually. And then, when we started to put this project together, we figured Jim was a good fit for the band. You know, him and his quirkiness, because he's a big Devo fan, King Crimson fan, you know. So, it worked out pretty good.
Who are you a fan of?
Oh, probably biggest is probably Rush and Primus.
Do you know I saw them play together? Not together, but Primus opened for Rush during their Roll the Bones tour. Do you remember that?
I do remember that. Actually, I saw that tour, but the first leg of that tour, Primus didn't play with them. It was only on the second leg. But I remember that tour though. Yeah, I've been seeing Rush since 1984. So, yeah.
What's one of your favorite tours that they did?
Probably the first tour, the Grace Under Pressure tour, was one of my favorites.
What's that one? Grace Under Pressure has the Red Alert.
Distant Early Warning.
Distant Early Warning. Yeah. Oh, I love that song.
Yeah, we love also the Body Electric with those huge drums.
Yeah.
Yeah, that whole album is kind of actually how we write. It's kind of like, it's pretty intense writing, a little dark, you know?
Yeah.
But, so...
10010 SOS.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
1001001 in distress. 1001010. The one about the robot. And then... that's a great album.
That whole vibe kind of we really liked, you know, just the way they wrote it. And Geddy's singing is like, it's more like intense. It's not as melodic as the newer stuff. So yeah, he changed it up a bit now the way he sings. But yeah, his bass playing is just awesome on every record. You know?
So I feel like I'm sort of I love Rush, but my favorite albums are Grace Under Pressure, the one right before that, Signals, and then the one after Grace Under Pressure, Power Windows. I freaking love Power Windows. I have, I'm recording this, of course, we call this mic on mobile because I'm using my smartphone. Inside my smartphone now is Territories off that album, and the Manhattan Project about the atom bomb is awesome. Oh, and the one about Middletown. We live in Middletown. Yeah. Middle-aged Madonna calls her mother on the phone. Days by days, the seasons pass. Something life alone.
Middle-aged Madonna calls her neighbor on the phone. Day by day, the seasons pass. Leave her life alone.
There's a friend of mine, Mike, who I went to see every single Rush concert I ever saw. We saw the Primus one together. He would love to talk to you about Primus. Rush. Rush, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, that sounds cool. Yeah, I know a lot of trivia. Probably more than I should know. But yeah. I'm surprised you liked the Power Windows, because that was a big change.
It was very synthesizer-y.
Yeah. But that song Territories is one of the best bass lines.
That bass line. That's more of Geddy Lee's style.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be playing bass if it wasn't for Geddy Lee, you know, and then Les Claypool, Chris Squire, and Michael Manring. Yeah, all those guys just,
Is there a particular Yes album that Chris Squire played on that you liked?
Well, Fragile album with Roundabout, and Drama album has some really great bass tones.
I love Drama.
Yeah.
Oh, what's that one? Dun, 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 dun.
Tempest Fugit.
Tempest Fugit. Oh, love that one. And I Am a Camera.
Yeah.
Oh God, great stuff.
Yeah, and even some of the newer ones, you know, like 90125 was good too.
Yeah.
That was more of the LA Yes, they call them, not the English Yes. But we like it all though.
But was produced by the guy that sang for them during Drama, Trevor Horn.
Trevor Horn, yeah. I think he did, just one album, right? He sang on, and
I think so.
Yeah, we just listened to that the other day. Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Well,
big time producer now, or was.
Yeah, he was with Art of Noise, and produced some of like Leanne Rimes stuff. It's crazy. Yeah, his credit list is pretty amazing.
Yeah, he's like Brian Eno kind of.
And then. Well, so speaking of tight bands, you guys are really tight. How does that come about? I mean, how do you get to that point? When did you get to that point and go, oh yeah, now we're tight?
Yeah, it's just years of practice pretty much, but it's almost like mind reading. You already know, playing so long together, you know exactly what the other person's going to do, like when the stop's coming, if it's coming before the beat or after the beat. It's just over time you kind of like get to know each other's style so good that, you know, you become like brothers, you know. It's just like it's hard to explain, but yeah.
It's like married couples that can finish each other's sentences.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, did that make it weird? I'm sorry.
No, that's about right, actually. Yeah.
And then you play the bass so well. How does someone learn to play the bass? Like you, like Geddy Lee, like Chris Squire. Chris Squire, right? Yeah, Chris Squire.
Yeah. I actually started out by just listening to Rush songs and trying to emulate what Geddy was doing. Yeah. I never took lessons, or I never learned how to read music, like sheet music, you know. It was always just by ear, you know. I don't really think you really need to learn how to read, you know, sheet music unless you want to be a session player and get paid for it, you know, get hired, you know. Well, in rock music anyway, you know. But yeah, I just always learned everything on my own, you know.
What do you think of Flea's style from the Red Hot Chili Peppers?
Oh, he's great. Yeah, his slap style early on, and just so funky, you know. Yeah, he's another one. Yeah, big influence of mine too.
And any shows coming up?
No, we've been just mainly focusing on the album, getting the album out, and getting a video ready for the album. And we might do some shows later this summer. But yeah, nothing in the works quite yet. Yeah.
And why are we meeting here at this place in Dogpatch?
Well, it's kind of on the outskirts of the city, because I live on the outskirts of the city, so it's easier for me to come around here than to go downtown. So
I think I'll try I'm a nut for Brussels sprouts. I think I'll have their grilled Brussels sprouts. Or they have cod sliders.
Those sounded good too.
Or Manchego sheep cheese. Yeah, we're definitely in San Francisco. Smoked trout roulette. It's not roulette. It's relay. Relay?
Relay, yeah.
Relay. Because roulette would be if you don't, maybe not isn't trout, or it's a bullet. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, diffraction. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, diffraction. Yeah, that's another one Jim wrote. He wrote maybe 4 or 5 of the songs on the album.
Well, let's give it a listen right now. It is the Illogistical Resource Department on Mike's Daily Podcast.
The tape is now completely rewound, ready for playing. as well as a fast reverse. Shut-off that turns off the machine when the tape has finished playing.
Diffraction from the Illogistical Resource Department as we go outside of Cafe Anyway here at the last place on earth, located somewhere in Podcaster Valley. And a big thank you to Dan Menapace for being on the show. Check out the band at facebook.com/Illogistical Resource Department.
And here's today's podcast picture.
And the picture is of Basil the Boxer. Walk in there at Fairmont Ridge, and the sun was coming through the trees. It looked really cool. See that picture now at Mike'sDailyPodcast.com. Mike Matthews, it's a beautiful picture, and it makes one think about one's life and about how we're here for only a short amount of time, and then we're dead. Wow, Chely, that was deep. I know, Mike Matthews. This show is really introspective. There's a finality to everything. Yes, Mike Matthews. You guys are really geeking out on Rush there on that interview, weren't you? We were totally geeking out. Yes, thank you for pointing that out. Floyd, did you enjoy that? Yeah, Rush is the best band ever. How about you, John Deere, the engineer? I was more partial to Earth, Wind, and Fire. Oh, yeah, they were pretty awesome, too. Different type of music. Not really progressive rock. More like progressive funk. Just that kind of thing. All right, I think we're done with the conversation here on this show today. But next show, we'll be back with a very fun, much-loved segment called WOW SCHATZ WOW. It's the return of that. You've missed it. So we brought it back, featuring fascinating news from your future that'll make you go, WOW SCHATZ WOW. Because that's what my mom says when I tell her something that surprises her, and she's German. She goes, WOW SCHATZ WOW. Plus, we hear from Benita, the Disgruntled Fiddle Player, and the Brewmaster.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com. Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!